What we were spending $1 million on can be done now for $100. You heard that right. That's not some wild hyperbole. It's the actual, on-the-ground reality of what AI is doing to the chemical sector right now. And honestly, if you're a business leader, an efficiency leap of that absolute magnitude, yeah, that should immediately command your attention.
Welcome to this explainer on AI and chemical innovation, the executive business case. I'm so glad you're joining us today, because we are going to unpack how machine learning and computational techniques are literally rewriting the rules of research and manufacturing. We are officially leaving the slow, expensive days of trial and error behind and stepping firmly into a highly intelligent, data-driven era. Let's look at exactly how this is happening. Here is a quick look at our roadmap for today. We'll cover the economics of chemical AI, the billion-dollar AlphaFold breakthrough, autonomous labs and digital twins, navigating the black box, and finally, the autonomous manufacturing future.
Let's jump right into Section 1, the economics of chemical AI.
To really grasp the impact here, we have to look at the sheer, undeniable contrast in timelines and costs. If you lead R&D initiatives, you know traditional chemical discovery is a grueling 10 to 15-year marathon. You're pouring millions into massive physical lab experiments just to figure out what doesn't work. But on the AI-driven side, predictive models and high-throughput screening shrink that decade down to just days or months. By moving all that heavy computational lifting upstream, you drastically cut down the physical experiments you have to run. It completely changes your bottom line, transforming a massive capital-intensive gamble into a highly targeted, predictable process.
Moving on to Section 2, AlphaFold, the billion-dollar breakthrough. 200 million. Just let that number sink in for a second. That is the staggering amount of protein structures DeepMind's AlphaFold predicted in just a matter of months. To put that into perspective, that's practically all the proteins known to exist in nature. In one single leap, AlphaFold advanced global biological and chemical research by several decades. It was such a massive, unprecedented achievement in computational science that it actually helped win its creators a Nobel Prize in chemistry. But for executives, the real story here is the immediate return on investment. Because we suddenly had these 3D structures, researchers weren't just fumbling in the dark anymore. They used this precise data to develop highly effective malaria vaccines, figure out how to bypass antibiotic resistance, and decode exactly how specific mutations lead to complex diseases like cancer. Fundamentally, it unlocked what we call structure-based drug design. This means scientists can now custom-fit drugs to specific protein receptors right from day one, saving years of preclinical development time. And hey, this isn't just confined to biology and pharma. DeepMind's Genome program is doing the exact same thing, having a totally parallel impact in material science. It's already found 2.2 million new crystals and discovered over 400,000 stable materials. Imagine exploring the entire wider chemical landscape at lightning speed. This is actively accelerating the development of the next generation of superconductors and sustainable batteries for Industry 4.0. If your competitors are using this, they are moving at a speed human chemists literally cannot match.
All right, let's look at Section 3, autonomous labs and digital twins.
So what does this actually look like on the ground? Well, think of a continuous AI-driven discovery pipeline like a giant funnel. AI starts by generating candidate molecules from a huge library, and machine learning instantly weeds out the weak ones. The survivors then move to computational refinement, like density functional theory, which models their properties for a fraction of the cost of real testing. Finally, the optimized winners get physically validated by high-throughput robotics. And the absolute best part? Those real-world results feed straight back into the AI, ensuring every single cycle makes the system smarter and faster. It's a relentless, intelligent loop. Generative AI proposes the ideas, virtual screening drops the testing cost to near zero, and automated lab bots do the heavy lifting in the physical world, all while cloud-based hubs analyze the results to perfectly calibrate the next run. This continuous, unceasing learning cycle absolutely slashes your time to market. It removes the human bottleneck and executes the scientific method at machine speed.
And this integration reaches its peak with digital twins. These are highly accurate virtual factories that perfectly simulate your actual physical systems. By continuously pulling in real-time data from IoT sensors, operators can run massive process changes, ensure much faster scale-ups, and drastically cut material waste, all without ever risking a disruption to the actual physical plant. The boundaries between virtual simulation and real-world performance are officially blurring. The ability to fail virtually so you can succeed physically, that is the ultimate operational advantage.
Next up, Section 4,
navigating the black box.
Okay, let's get pragmatic and talk about the actual hurdles, starting with the black box problem. This refers to the lack of transparency in a lot of deep learning models, which often obscures the actual chemical principles driving their predictions. Look, if you're an executive making a high-stakes call, like pushing a new drug to clinical trials, an uninterpretable model is a massive, unacceptable risk. You need to know why the AI is making its recommendation. That's exactly why the industry is rapidly adopting techniques like SHAP, Shapley Additive Explanations, to basically peel back the layers and provide clear mathematical transparency into how the AI reached its conclusions.
The second critical hurdle is an old computing classic: garbage in, garbage out. Chemical AI relies entirely on high-quality, standardized, and unbiased data. If your model is trained on sparse or noisy chemical datasets, it will confidently hand you the wrong answer. This means that embracing FAIR principles, making your data findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable, isn't just some annoying IT chore. It is the absolute core strategic imperative to protect your AI investments. Establishing strict data governance is the mandatory foundation for any enterprise entering this digital age.
Finally, Section 5, the autonomous manufacturing future.
Check out this number, 688. Over at the University of Liverpool, a mobile, AI-driven robotic chemist autonomously ran 688 experiments. It explored the chemical reaction space and optimized a reaction 10 times faster than human manual methods ever could. But here's the kicker. It didn't just automate a repetitive task. It self-optimized based on the data it was gathering. This is the dawn of the self-operating laboratory. It shows us exactly what happens when AI moves from a software screen to controlling actual physical lab assets.
So, where's this all heading? Well, the roadmap for Industry 4.0 is crystal clear. We're looking at large language models directly translating human instructions to control 24/7 robotic lab agents. We anticipate quantum-enhanced AI, which will model complex molecular systems with absolute precision, removing any remaining guesswork. And crucially, this technology will guide sustainable green chemistry, allowing us to rapidly discover eco-friendly solvents and significantly lower the global environmental footprint of manufacturing.
Which brings us to a final, critical question. As AI ushers in this incredible world of predictive digital twins and autonomous laboratories that literally never sleep, is your company ready to let the algorithms run the factory? The technology is already here, completely rewriting the economics of chemistry right before our eyes. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this leaves you with some urgent, exciting questions about your own strategic readiness for this autonomous revolution.